Did you know a jury can acquit someone, even if they clearly broke the law? To be more specific, say a person is convicted of murder. If the evidence clearly shows the person is guilty, a normal jury will vote that the person is guilty. However, if a jury really likes the defendant, they have another option that the judge won't usually tell them. They can just decide to not apply the law to the defendant. In this case, the jury will vote that the person is innocent, even though the evidence shows they are guilty. This is called jury nullification. As the name implies, this is when a jury nullifies the law, by letting the defendant go, even though it is clear they broke the law. Jury nullification is a result of court decisions since the founding of the United States. In Sparf v. United States in 1895, the Supreme Court wrote, "The language of some judges and statesmen in the early history of the country implied that the jury were entitled to disregard the law as expounded by the court." The main reason for this was that before the Revolutionary War, England passed a series of laws called the Navigation Acts. These laws made it so any goods produced in England or her colonies must be shipped on British ships. This made it impossible for the American colonists to trade goods with other nations, even if other nations produced cheaper products than the ones they could get from England. Many American traders, in search of better trading opportunities, therefore broke this law and were put on trial by England. However, juries of their fellow American colonists, who were suffering from higher prices as a result of the Navigation Acts, would often acquit the guilty traders. Therefore, the power of juries to acquit a defendant, even if they are clearly guilty, became an important power that America's founders wanted to protect against unjust laws like the Navigation Acts. Since then, jury nullification has been codified into law by court decisions such as Sparf v. United States. However, even though a jury has the right to disregard the law, they are rarely told this right. This is because states want to convict guilty individuals. If a prosecutor needs to convince the jury that 1, the defendant broke the law, and 2, the defendant deserves to have the law applied to them, it is a lot harder to get a guilty verdict. The state would much rather choose a jury which does not know that jury nullification exists. It then just needs to prove that 1, the defendant broke the law. Therefore, during jury selection, you will probably be asked something like, "Is there any reason you could not follow the judge's instructions as to the law in considering this case?" Answer that you will decide for yourself if the law should be applied to the defendant based on their situation and your approval of the law, and you will most likely be sent home.